When you need answers about how a crash happens, event data recorders get you answers quickly and reliably. But to get those answers, you need to get the EDR data. It's usually fairly simple to get EDR data. You plug into a diagnostic port, sometimes called the DLC. It's usually by the driver's knee position inside the car. It's the very same port that your mechanic will use to read a check engine light or diagnose something going on with the car. If you can't access the data through that port though, let's say your vehicle's badly damaged, the electrical system's compromised, or maybe you just don't have the key anymore following the crash, we can skip the port altogether and go directly to where the EDR data is stored, the module. I'm Steve from Evident Forensics, and today I'm going to show you how we access EDR data direct to module. Stay tuned. So here's our setup with everything we're going to need to get EDR data directly from this module. This module is out of a 2023 Toyota Camry, and this one in particular is called an airbag control module. You can see that it's just a metallic box, and it's got a few mounting points to put it into the vehicle, as well as some yellow connectors. And these connectors are constantly receiving information from the sensors across the vehicle. Wheel speed sensors, accelerometers, pedal positions for the brakes and for the accelerator, and a host of other sensors that are constantly being monitored. So it makes it a really convenient place to store and save that data for the EDR. But to access that data, we're going to need some special equipment, and that's where my Bosch kit comes in. This cable right here is specifically designed to fit into the center port of this Toyota module. It's called the 827 cable. It's connected to the Bosch CDR900 interface module, which is in turn connected to my laptop over there. Now, before we hook this all up, we have to do one very important step, and that is securing the airbag control module to the bench. So I'm going to go ahead and put some clamps on, and then we'll continue. With the airbag module secured onto the desk, we're ready to plug in. The 827 cable goes right into the center port. And now that we're outside the vehicle, we're going to need to apply our own power. So I'm putting the power cord in just off of a wall outlet. And there we have the setup. Everything's ready to go, and we can move over to the laptop and start the download. Now we're all plugged in and ready to start the download. The first thing we're going to do is open up the Bosch CDR, or Crash Data Retrieval software. And this is just the home screen, so we will go to a new page, and it's going to ask for the brand or the make of the car that the module came out of. This one was a Toyota. So here it's asking for the vehicle identification number, or the VIN. If we were plugged into the DLC, it would read this for us, but because we're going directly to the module, we're going to have to type it in ourselves this time. With the VIN entered, we can hit done. And it'll ask us for the user, that's me today, the person using the software. So my initials are SFT. The case number, if you have one, the imaging date automatically populates with today's date, and then the crash date if you'd like to enter it. The next page is similar in that it's going to ask you just for some notes that you'd like to enter. On this page, I like to enter the setup that I used. So we have a benchtop direct to module download here. It's using the 827 cable from Bosch, the CDR900 interface module, and we're plugged into wall power. And I also like to say where I was when I did the download. So today I'm in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. So now we have what we need typed into the notes, so we can go ahead and press on. Now we see we're back to the home screen, but this time we have a couple of new buttons we can press. The first one right here with the picture of a person seated and what looks like a blue ball says collect airbag control module data. So that's the one we're going to want. This process is going to take a minute or two in most cars, sometimes up to 20 minutes, but it'll go ahead and initialize communication between the computer and the airbag control module, read the data multiple times, and then finally report back to us. Now that the software is done reading the data, it's going to ask us if we want to save, which of course we do. So we'll go ahead and save. And I want to point out that the file type here that it's saving as is called a CDRX file. That's specific for this Bosch software. And it's important to note that this is what we consider the evidence. This is the raw data file. This is the file that a crash reconstructionist wants to see if you've collected EDR data. We're going to also save this as a PDF to make it easier to review and look at later, but the CDRX file is the most important one. And as it goes ahead to save, it's going to flip through a couple of images here, and that's going to show us these charts and graphs actually exist. There was data in the module. If we had nothing recovered, it would quickly jump to a screen like this and tell us events recovered were none. After we save, we're going to get to see the first look at this CDR report. And if you have no data recovered, it's going to tell you right down here under events recovered, none. Fortunately, we do have data within this airbag module, and it tells us that there's multiple events recorded. 4 front rear side, 4 side, and 2 rollover events. So we have data. In future videos, I'm going to show you this data and we're going to go through it. But for today, the most important part of the process is to make sure we successfully got EDR data out of our module. So we can go ahead now and save this as a PDF. I always like to save it as a PDF to make it easier to review and to share later on as needed. It's going to take a minute to go ahead and do that. And there we go. I've already saved the data, so I'll go ahead and save it again. Then we're done. So there you have it. We were able to plug directly into an airbag control module to collect EDR data. Keep in mind that today we started with an airbag control module sitting on a bench top behind me. In most cases, the module is still going to be bolted into what's probably a severely damaged car. So that process starts with an inspection of the electrical system to see if we really do need to go direct to module. And if you do, we pull the center console out to access the module. Sometimes the module can stay right in the car and do the download in place. Other times there's not enough room for that, so the module has to come out and be strapped to a bench top like we did today. In future videos, I'm going to show you the data that we collected today, and another video later on is going to pull even more Toyota-specific data out of this particular airbag control module. For now, that's all I've got for you though, so thank you for tuning in. I'm Steve from Evident Forensics. Take care and stay safe.